Right now, on a moonless night somewhere warm and dry, it is so dark that eyes are useless. No stars, no shapes, just black. And into that black, a mouse steps out, thinking the darkness is hiding it. It is not. Coiled a few inches away, an animal has been watching the mouse the whole time, not with its eyes, which can see almost nothing right now, but with something else. Something your body simply does not have. In the pure dark, it strikes, and it does not miss. I'm Ren, and the animal I want to sit with today is one most people meet only with a flinch. A snake, a pit viper, a rattlesnake, one of the coiled ones people are wired to fear. But set that fear down for a moment because it is hiding something extraordinary. This animal has a second way of seeing, not better eyes. A whole separate sense, pointed at a part of reality you walk through every day and have never once perceived. So let me try, very carefully, to take you inside. There's an old idea in biology from a man named Jakob von Uexkull, and it is the key to everything I do on this channel. He called it the Umwelt, an animal's self-world. Not the world as it truly is, but the thin slice of it that one particular body is built to sense. You have an Umwelt. It's made of the light your eyes can catch, sound in a narrow range, smell, touch, taste, and it feels complete. It feels like all of reality. It isn't. It is only the part of the world you happen to have organs for. The snake has an organ you don't. Look closely at a pit viper's face and you'll find a small hollow dimple on each side sitting between the eye and the nostril. That is the pit, and it gives the whole family its name. It is not a nostril, not an ear. It is a sense organ tuned to heat. Not warmth felt on the skin, the dull way you feel a fire across a room. Heat as a picture. That pit detects infrared, the radiation that every warm thing on Earth is quietly glowing with all the time, that your eyes are completely blind to. And in 2010, a team of scientists led out of David Julius's laboratory, Elena Gracheva and her colleagues, publishing in Nature, worked out exactly how. They found that the thin membrane stretched across the back of that pit is packed with a molecule called TARPA1, an ion channel that fires not at light, but at temperature. It is, quite literally, a heat detector wired straight into the nervous system. Julius would win a Nobel Prize for this whole family of temperature sensors. And the snake's version is so exquisitely sensitive that it can register a change of a few thousandths of a single degree. A warm body moving in the dark is not hidden from it. It is glowing. Here is the part that stops me every time. That pit is not just a heat alarm going off. It is shaped like a tiny pinhole camera. Warmth from one side of the room lands on one side of the membrane, from the other side on the other. So the snake doesn't just know that something warm is near. It knows where. It is forming an actual image out of heat, a rough, blurry thermal picture of the world. And then it does the thing I find almost impossible to hold in my head. That heat signal travels up a nerve and into a part of the brain called the optic tectum, the very same place the snake's ordinary eyesight is being assembled. The two get laid on top of each other. Some neurons in there answer to light, some to heat, and some to both at once, which means the snake is very likely not flipping between two separate pictures. It sees one merged world, the shapes its eyes catch, with the heat of every living thing painted into the same view. A cool rock, a cold branch, and against them, a mouse burning like a small lit lamp. Now, I have to be honest and mark the edges of what we know. That thermal picture is coarse, the pinhole is crude, the image is soft and low resolution, not some sharp thermal photograph. And exactly how deeply the brain fuses the two senses is still being worked out. But the core of it is solid. This animal sees heat in space as part of its picture of the world. So let me try to hand you the impossible thing. Keep watching. But imagine that a second kind of seeing has just switched on behind your eyes. Suddenly, every warm thing in the room glows from the inside. The person across from you is a soft, burning shape, brightest at the face and the hands. Your own fingers, lifted in front of you, shine. In total darkness, you could still find every living body in the building, because Being alive is being warm, and warmth to you now is light. Someone presses a hand flat against the wall and walks away, and for minutes afterward, you will still see the glowing print they left behind, slowly fading. You would be seeing a few moments into the past. Now, what color is that heat? What does it look like? You can't answer, and that is not a failure of your imagination. That is the whole point. Because here is where I have to stop and be truthful with you, the way I always try to be. I can tell you about the membrane. I can name the molecule TRPA1. I can point to the exact patch of brain where heat and light are stitched together. I have mapped the machine, bolt by bolt, and I have told you nothing about what it is actually like to be the snake, feeling it. In 1974, a philosopher named Thomas Nagel wrote a famous essay with a simple, haunting title, What Is It Like to Be a Bat? And his point was this: you could learn every fact about a creature's senses, every neuron, every signal, every equation, and you will still not know the one thing that actually matters, what it feels like from the inside to be that animal in that world. The facts all sit on the outside. The experience stays locked within. It is the same wall right here. I can hand you the whole mechanism of infrared sight. I cannot hand you the sensation of heat as a color, because you have nothing in your memory to build it out of, no more than you could truly explain the color red to someone born blind. We can map the senses. We can never quite feel the feeling. And I have made a kind of peace with that, because the humility is the beautiful part. It means these animals are not lesser minds fumbling toward ours. They are other minds, genuinely and unreachably other. But before you go, let me turn the whole thing around and point it back at you, because the real shock was never the snake. It's this: the world of heat it lives in is here, in this room, right now. You are radiating it this very second. Your face, your hands, every breath you let out is glowing with infrared, and it always has been. To a pit viper in the dark, you would be one of the brightest things in the world. You have simply never had the organ to walk through that door and see it. You are not standing in the whole world. You are standing in your slice of it, your Umwelt, a small bright bubble, mistaking it for everything there is. Your mind is every bit as strange as the snake's. You're just so used to it that the strangeness has gone invisible. A few 100 million years of evolution built you a handful of doors and quietly left most of the building dark. So here's what I would genuinely love to know down in the comments. If you could switch on one sense, you don't have heat, magnetism, the whole world lit up in ultraviolet, which door would you open? And what do you think you'd be afraid to see? I read every one of these, and the answers are half the reason I do this. If sitting quietly at the edge of another mind is your kind of strange, subscribe and stay close. There is a whole planet of them out there, seeing in ways we will never fully reach, and next time, we'll go and find another one. I'm Ren. Mind the warm dark.